Imagine discovering a chapter of human history that has remained hidden for millennia. The Book of Giants is that lost page, revealing an era where titanic beings walked among us. This ancient text transports us to a forgotten time, where the fate of humanity was intertwined with that of imposing creatures. The story of the Nephilim, descendants of angels and mortals, is a narrative that challenges our understanding. The Book of Giants invites us to reconsider what we know about the past, presenting an epic saga of love, betrayal, and celestial battles that shaped the course of existence. In this account, the archangels are not mere guardians, but warriors facing a colossal threat. The struggle between the divine and the earthly unfolds on a grand scale, with consequences that reverberate to this day. The Book of Giants makes us question, who are the true heroes and villains of this ancient story? The protagonists of this epic are not simple figures of good and evil. They are complex, with motivations that transcend moral duality. The Book of Giants shows us that even those labeled as monsters can seek redemption, and that each being carries within it light and shadow. The truths contained in the Book of Giants have been kept away from the eyes of the world, hidden in the shadows of esoteric wisdom. But now, these secrets are about to be revealed. Prepare for a journey that will transform your view of history and humanity. The Book of Giants is more than a text, it is a portal to a world that few have dared to imagine. As we unravel its mysteries, we are confronted with questions about our own place in the universe. This is the invitation to an adventure that promises to challenge everything you believe to know. At every step, you will find yourself on the brink of astonishing revelations. The Book of Giants is not just a story, it is a testament to a time when heaven and earth were in direct conflict, and the fate of all was at stake. At the end of this video, you will have a new perspective on biblical history and on ourselves. The Book of Giants is an invitation to look beyond what is told and discover the truth that awaits those who seek with an open heart. This is just the beginning of an exploration that goes beyond history, touching the core of our existence. The Book of Giants challenges us to look at the past with new eyes and to question the truths we accept as unshakable. The Book of Giants is a key that opens doors to dimensions of understanding and wisdom that await you. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in Qumran was one of the most notable archaeological finds of the 20th century. In 1947, a Bedouin shepherd, following a lost goat, stumbled upon a cave that hid ancient scrolls, triggering a wave of academic excitement. These texts offered an unprecedented view of biblical traditions, with fragments from almost all books of the Old Testament, except Esther. Among these manuscripts were apocalyptic texts and rules of religious communities, possibly the Essenes, who lived in the region. But one text in particular stood out, the Book of Giants. This document offers a fascinating narrative about the Nephilim, gigantic beings born from the union between fallen angels and human women, whose chaotic actions on earth provoked the need for divine intervention. The Book of Giants is special because it gives us a different perspective on these beings. Far from being just villains, they are portrayed as complex figures, whose stories are intertwined with moral and existential issues. The text suggests that, despite their actions, there may be room for redemption, challenging our understanding of good and evil. The exclusion of the Book of Giants from the traditional biblical canon and its preservation only in fragments among the Dead Sea Scrolls add an air of mystery to the text. Why was it left out? What truths does it contain that could alter our perception of biblical history? These are the questions that the video promises to explore, arousing the curiosity and expectation of the public. By watching the video to the end, viewers can expect not just a story about giants and angels, but a journey that questions the very nature of human and divine history. The Book of Giants invites us to look beyond conventional stories and discover the secrets that lie in the depths of the past. The giants, beings of unimaginable proportions and powers, face an uncertain fate, trapped between their earthly existence and the retribution of the heavens. Oya, Hea, and Mo are more than names. They are symbols of an ancestral struggle that echoes to this day. The exclusion of the Book of Giants from the biblical canon raises intriguing questions. During the formation of the canon, texts were evaluated for their authorship, acceptance, and alignment with Orthodox doctrine. The Book of Giants, with its unique origin and teachings, remained on the margin, an enigma waiting to be explored. The Manichaean tradition, with its roots in Mesopotamia, embraced the Book of Giants through the influence of Mani, who integrated the text into his new religion. Mani, raised among the Elsasates, brought a unique perspective to the narrative of the giants, one that challenges our understanding of the divine and the human. The saga of Mani and his visions is a tale of discovery and revelation. From a young age, Mani was marked by visions that led him to be excommunicated, but these same visions inspired him to found a new religion. His name, possibly a religious title, reflects the depth of his spiritual connection. The narrative of the Dead Sea Scrolls, written in Syriac, an Eastern Aramaic dialect, echoes the story told by Mani. It speaks of demons who abandon heaven to sow chaos on earth, a story that resonates with the battles between light and darkness, led by the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. The Book of Giants expands the biblical story, offering a new perspective on the Nephilim, described in Genesis 6 verse 4 and Numbers 13:33 as beings of colossal size, whose presence on earth preceded a cataclysmic flood. These giants, endowed with forbidden knowledge, are portrayed as sources of corruption, but also as complex beings, with prophetic dreams that anticipate their own judgment. The Watcher's admiration for human women evolves into an overwhelming desire, leading them to share heavenly knowledge and forbidden secrets. One of the Watchers goes further, teaching men the art of war and planting the seeds of conflict. From this forbidden union between the divine and the mortal, the Nephilim emerge, beings of immeasurable size and power. They bring destruction wherever they go, consuming resources and disturbing the peace. The earth, once blessed with harmony, now witnesses the chaos unleashed by these giants. Enoch, the wise, interprets prophetic dreams that foretell the ruin of the Nephilim and the purification of the earth through a flood. This ancient narrative challenges us to reflect on the consequences of our actions and the nature of knowledge and power. The giants, born from the forbidden love between angels and humans, brought devastation to the earth. Their insatiable hunger spared nothing, turning the world into a desert. When wildlife was exhausted, they turned their voracity to humanity and, in desperation, even to their own kind. Civilizations crumbled, leaving only echoes of a world that was once prosperous. But from the ashes of destruction, an unexpected change occurred. Some giants, moved by an awakening of consciousness, formed clans. These groups sought something beyond carnage, an order in the midst of chaos, a reflection of the first human communities they had destroyed. Unknown emotions began to emerge among them: doubt, remorse, introspection, and fear. Marwe, a leader among the giants, was particularly tormented by prophetic dreams. On a night lit only by the embers of a bonfire, he shared his vision with the others: a stone tablet submerged in water, an omen of their fate. The giants listened, captivated, pondering the meaning of this dream and what it could reveal about their future. In the dim light of the bonfire, the giants contemplated the names engraved on the stone that Ma erected. Noah, Shem, Japheth, and Ham, names that blew like an omen through the night breeze, sowing unrest among them. Marwe, disturbed by his dream, wondered if these names announced the ruin of the giants. Oya, with his imposing presence, silenced the murmurs. Heir to Semyaza's vigilance, he carried an innate authority. His brother Ha, a living reminder of their divine origin, remained by his side. Oya challenged Marway's interpretation of dreams, dismissing them as mere fantasies, despite his own disturbing dream about a virgin and her son. The conversation turned to the collective dreams of destruction and divine wrath. Oya proposed a different perspective. Perhaps these dreams were warnings not for the giants, but for the fallen angels like Semyaza who had transgressed against humanity. He speculated that any imminent divine punishment would be destined for them, although doubt persisted in their hearts. From a distance, beyond the reach of the bonfire light, stood Gilgamesh, whose name was synonymous with strength. Without taking his eyes off the flames, he spoke of his power over mortals and acknowledged the supremacy of the divine, before which even he could not oppose. Gilgamesh reflected on the era of giants and wild men, a time of power and turmoil that now faced the judgment of heaven. The dreams of the giants became even more tumultuous, with visions of a splendid garden consumed by flames. Oya, interpreting the fire of the 200 trees as a sign of the fate of the Watchers, felt his leadership threatened by the suggestion to seek Enoch's wisdom. The tension grew, but Ma, driven by the fame of Enoch's divine insights, decided to seek him out. Enoch, respecting spiritual protocols, could not offer interpretations without divine guidance. However, recognizing the gravity of the situation, he agreed to intercede with the Almighty. With a warning to avoid flying close to the sun, Enoch and Ma established mutual respect, marking the beginning of a new relationship between giants and the scribe. As time passed and without news from Enoch, uncertainty among the giants increased. But eventually, Enoch returned with a message indicating an imminent divine judgment for the giants, a calculation that would determine their fate. This outcome promises to be the climax of a story of power, downfall, and the search for redemption, a narrative that resonates with the moral and existential questions that permeate the saga of the Nephilim and the Watchers. Oya's wrath and Hea's threatening confrontation against Enoch were interrupted by Ma's intervention, who sought to calm tempers with reminders of the imminent divine punishment. While Oya prepared to face any celestial challenge, his fellow giants chose a path of humility and redemption through prayer. In a silent act of remorse, the giants knelt, begging for mercy. Even Oya, usually inflexible, had to acknowledge the seriousness of his situation, seeing forgiveness as the only possible salvation in the face of the approaching divine judgment. As Enoch had predicted, the archangels descended to purify the earth from the oppression of the giants. Gabriel, the archangel, unleashed a relentless war, inciting the giants to turn against each other, leading to their downfall. Despite the pleas of some giants for salvation, Gabriel did not deviate from his rigorous path. The fate of the giants seemed sealed, regardless of their repentance. The earth was submerged by a devastating flood, with only an ark preserving animal life. Oya, watching from the top of a cliff, reflected on Ma's fate and the true nature of divine compassion. He questioned whether genuine forgiveness could really be found amidst the wrath of the angels or the destructive waters of the flood. Seeking refuge from the invading waters, Oya climbed a mountain, where he encountered a terrifying vision. A huge dark creature with scales and a mysterious purple glow emerging from the depths below. This dark and powerful image concludes the epic narrative, leaving a final mystery to contemplate in the saga of the giants and the gods. Imagine a time when titanic creatures ruled the earth and the seas. Among them, Leviathan, a colossal being, awakens from the depths, bringing with it the power of the ancient waters. Its imposing presence challenges the giants, indomitable leaders of the earth, and signals the beginning of an epic battle. Oya, the bravest of the giants, faces Leviathan in a confrontation that resonates through the centuries. The fight is fierce, a deadly dance of strength and cunning. Oya, armed only with his staff and courage, challenges the beast that blocks the sun with its immense head. At the height of the battle, Leviathan captures Hea, Oya's brother, in its powerful jaws. The loss ignites a vengeful fury in Oya, who attacks with relentless determination, each blow filled with revenge and pain for the loss of his brother. After an intense fight, Oya triumphs, but his victory is overshadowed by sadness and exhaustion. He watches the waters consume the defeated beast, and his emotions oscillate between the joy of victory and the sadness of loss. In a moment of vulnerability, he is surprised by a treacherous attack. Mortally wounded, Oya faces his last moments with a somber dignity. As the floodwaters rise, he reflects on the nature of divine compassion and the fate of his people. The story of the giants, marked by power and downfall, comes to an end, but their spirit remains, evolving into legends that echo to this day. The story of the giants, beings of power and myth, is one that resonates through the ages. They faced Leviathan, a monster from the depths, in a battle that sealed their fate. Oya, the giant, fought bravely, but was betrayed by an angel, marking the beginning of the flood that would consume the earth. Noah and his family, whose names were engraved in stone, survived in the ark, preserving life for a new beginning. Meanwhile, the spirits of the giants, marked by resentment, remained, evolving into something more sinister. The Book of Giants, found among the Dead Sea Scrolls and attributed to the founder of Manichaeism, is a fragmented narrative, leaving us with an incomplete picture of its message. The versions vary, but the central theme of judgment and consequence is constant. Enoch, the messenger of divine warnings, appears in both versions, but his message is vague, leaving much to the imagination. The fate of the Watcher's children is uncertain, but it is likely to be as dark as that of their parents. The Manichaean version of the text offers a more conclusive ending, with Oya and Hea facing Leviathan and the Archangel Raphael in a final battle. The story ends, but the legacy of the giants continues, inspiring fear and fascination to this day. The figure of Enoch, shrouded in mystery and transcendence, is one of the most fascinating characters in the biblical tradition. Described as someone who walked with God and was taken to heaven, Enoch holds a special place in the narrative of the flood and the giants. He is the messenger between the divine and the earthly, the one who conveys God's decisions to the Watchers and their descendants, the Nephilim. The Nephilim, described as violent and dangerous beings, are portrayed in a dark way in the Book of Enoch. They are the personification of chaos and destruction, distant from humanity and closer to wild beasts in their conduct. Enoch, in contrast, is the voice of hope and possible redemption, even if divine mercy is denied to them. The story of the giants in Enoch is one that challenges the imagination and invites reflection on themes such as justice, punishment, and the possibility of salvation. It is a narrative that, despite its ancient origins, continues to capture the imagination and inspire questions about our own place in the cosmos and the nature of the divine. The saga of the giants, as portrayed in ancient texts, is a narrative that transcends time, blending the human with the divine. The giants, despite their celestial origins and past actions, reveal an unexpected humanity by expressing concerns and doubts, seeking solutions together. This humanization suggests a possibility of change and even redemption, although their motivations can be interpreted as selfish. The story in the Dead Sea Scrolls shows the giants resorting to prayer as a last resort, not necessarily out of genuine faith, but as a desperate attempt at self-preservation. Marwe, in particular, seems more concerned with his own survival than with the consequences of his actions, which may explain the lack of response to his prayers. The inclusion of Gilgamesh in the Book of Giants is an intriguing link with other ancient mythologies, suggesting that the authors were aware of neighboring narratives. Gilgamesh, known for his superhuman strength and quest for immortality, here hesitates before the divine power, highlighting the supremacy of the biblical god. This hesitation contrasts with the image of the Mesopotamian hero who faces challenges without fear. The figure of Gilgamesh, described as part divine and part human, is a reminder of the complexity of ancient myths and the interconnection between various cultural traditions. The saga of the giants and Enoch, as reported in the Dead Sea Scrolls, is a story of search and despair. The giants, led by Oya, face threatening visions that lead them to seek the wisdom of Enoch, a man whose reputation transcends the chaos of the world. Enoch, known for his cosmic journeys and communication with the divine, is the only hope of the giants to understand their disturbing dreams. Marway's journey to Enoch is described as a celestial odyssey, suggesting that the giants possess residual abilities from their celestial parents. However, their lack of knowledge about natural laws, such as the dangers of flying near the sun, reveals their limitations. Enoch, when consulted, does not offer immediate answers, but promises to seek clarity from God. This narrative not only highlights the complexity of the characters and their struggles, but also reflects on the nature of wisdom, destiny, and the interaction between the human and the divine. It is a story that continues to inspire and provoke deep reflections on the human condition and the search for truth. The Book of Giants offers us a unique perspective on the Nephilim, presenting them not only as destructive beings, but also as complex entities, capable of emotions and even wisdom. Through this lens, they are seen as more than mere antagonists. They are tragic figures, trapped in a cycle of corruption and search for redemption. Enoch's meditation, although it did not bring the immediate answer that the giants expected, suggests a path to salvation through repentance. The tablet that Enoch presents to the giants is a somber symbol of the fate that awaits their parents, the Watchers, but also carries the possibility of redemption.